This is the employer's voice.
On the 15th of April last year, government quietly replaced the employment equity regulations. And in doing so, they handed themselves the power to dictate to you, the employer, exactly what your workforce must look like. Not based on merit, not based on available skills, not based on what makes your business work, but based on skin color and numbers that the minister decided at a desk in Pretoria. Sector-specific targets set by politicians, imposed on your business. And if you don't meet them, fines of up to 10% of your annual turnover. And you lose the right to do business with the state. The government wants to tell you who to hire, and if you don't obey, they'll shut you out of a large portion of the economy. This is not transformation, this is control. Under the old employment equity framework, if you employ 50 or more people, you could set your own employment equity targets. It wasn't perfect, but it recognized a basic truth. You know your business better than a bureaucrat does. The new regulations take that away. The minister now publishes the targets. Your sector has prescribed numbers. You are expected to meet them or explain in writing why you haven't. And your explanation had better be good enough for a labor inspector. The certificate you need to access any government contract is now tied to meeting these targets or providing acceptable grounds for not doing so. No certificate, no tenders. If your business depends on state work, this is an existential threat. NEASA has been fighting this from the outset. We oppose these regulations because they are an attack on your right to run your business how you see fit. When the government forces you to hire based on quotas rather than capability, they're not helping you. They are weakening you. They're taking decisions that should be yours and handing them to people who have never built anything, never made payroll, and never had to sustain a business in this economy. While NEASA fights this in the courts, in the media, and in every forum available to us, you have a business to protect. And this law, bad as it is currently enforced. So let me tell you how to comply in a way that protects you and puts the administrative burden exactly where it belongs, on the state. This is what we're going to do. First, prepare your employment equity plan. The Act still allows you to set the targets for the first 4 years of your plan that account for the pool of suitable, qualified candidates actually available in your sector and region, as well as the realities within your business. That's still in the legislation. So, you set your targets according to your business realities. Document every hire you couldn't make because a suitable candidate could not be found. Document every position you advertised, every training program you ran, every bursary you offered. Build a paper trail so thick that any inspector who opens your file will need months to get through it. You're not fabricating anything. You're documenting reality. Second, comply with all procedural requirements. Ensure your records are so comprehensive that it becomes its own defense. If the state wants to challenge your process, they will have to wade through 1,000 pages of documents before they can even start to allege a procedural flaw. Third, submit every report on time, every year, without fail. Not because you agree with the system, But because non-submission, even late submission, is the easiest reason for them to fine you. But don't give them the easy way. Force them into your terrain, which is the substance of your plan. Fourth, when you apply for your compliance certificate and your workforce profile doesn't reflect the minister's numbers, or even your own targets, submit your justification. The Act requires reasonable grounds. That's your weapon. You determine what your reasonable grounds are with concrete evidence. If they reject it, they must give reasons. If their reasons are inadequate, you challenge them. If they institute enforcement proceedings, you challenge them. Every challenge consumes their resources. Every dispute creates precedent. And every precedent that goes in your favor weakens the entire framework. Fifth, and this is vital, one employer challenging a compliance rejection is a nuisance. Thousands of employers, all challenging the non-compliance findings of the department. That's a crisis the Department of Labor is not equipped to handle. That's how you break a bad system. You make it collapse under its own weight. Refusal gets you fined. This is about complying so thoroughly, so precisely, and so strategically that the system cannot prosecute you without exposing its own failures. You built your business. You took the risk. You signed the lease. You hired the staff. You made payroll when the bank account was running dry. You survived load shedding. You survived COVID. You survived interest rate hikes, fuel price shocks, and a government that has done everything possible to make your life harder. Government's response is not to thank you, not to make it easier, not to get you out of your way. The response is to hand you a set of hiring quotas and threatens to fine you 10% of your turnover if you don't meet them. You're the one creating jobs. You're the one paying salaries. You're the one keeping your employees' families fed. You're part of the solution to the employment crisis, yet the government treats you like a problem to be managed. Every form you fill in, every report you submit, every target you're forced to chase, that's time you're not spending on your business. That's money you're not investing in growth. NEASA exists because somebody has to say this out loud. The people who built South Africa deserves better than this. You are not the problem, you are the solution. I'm Gerhard Papenfus. I'll see you on the next episode.